Hey YouTubers, welcome to the Cyber Overwatch channel. I'm Pragmatic1, and in this video I'll be presenting the sixth and final installment of my Nmap Scan All the Things series, where I explore the capabilities of Network Mapper, otherwise known as Nmap. I'll be showcasing the potential of Nmap, serving as a capstone to my previous videos. If you've missed any of the previous videos, don't worry, I'll give you a brief overview of Nmap capabilities in the demonstration, but I highly recommend watching my previous videos for a more detailed explanation. Why is Nmap so useful? Nmap is a powerful and versatile network exploration tool. As a pen tester, I use Nmap for network reconnaissance to identify live hosts, open ports, and running services. When I say live, I mean the host is actively connected to the network and has a valid IP. Nmap can also perform OS and service fingerprinting to determine what's possibly running on the live host. I use the term possibly because sometimes services can be incorrectly identified, or Nmap may not have a reliable fingerprint for the specific OS or service, particularly if it's a proprietary one. While it's not a replacement for vulnerability management platforms like Nessus or Nexpose, Nmap can detect vulnerabilities. Using Nmap in combination with other tools, I can potentially identify and exploit vulnerabilities to gain access to hosts and sensitive data. Blue teams and operation teams also utilize Nmap for various functions, including network mapping and discovery. This allows them to identify all devices connected to the network and detect any possible rogue hosts. Rogue hosts are devices that may be connected to the network without permission, including personal Wi-Fi routers, NAS, personal computers, Raspberry Pis, and malicious hosts added by attackers. While other tools are available, using Nmap provides an additional and valuable source of information. Nmap can also be employed as inventory management by network teams. Network administrators can obtain an inventory of devices and applications running on the network, facilitating the identification of end-of-life devices and software, and ensuring all devices are up to date. The blue team can also use Nmap to scan for known vulnerabilities in network devices by identifying the services and versions running on the hosts and comparing them to vulnerability databases. Network teams can utilize Nmap for network performance testing by measuring the performance of the network via packet sending and receiving between hosts. This allows network administrators to detect potential bottlenecks and make necessary adjustments to optimize the network performance. As you can see, Nmap can be very useful, so without further ado, let's jump to it. Depending on your OS, you may need to install Nmap. If you are using Kali Linux like I am, Nmap is already installed by default. To ensure that you have the latest version, you can update your distro in Nmap scripts by running the following commands: apt space update space amper space apt space full dash upgrade space dash y, as shown in the CLI. Once the upgrade has been completed, you can run the nmap space dash dash script dash update db as shown in the CLI. Kali and Nmap have already been updated to the latest version on this host, but for this demo I will run it again. For other distros, Nmap may be available in the distro repository, and you can install it using the apt-get space install space nmap space dash y command. However, this may vary depending on the distro you are using, and you may need to use the other package managers such as yum, dnf, or zypper as an example. If you are using Windows, or if Nmap is not available in your distro repository, you can download it from nmap.org. For more details, be sure to check out the Nmap Scan All the Things Episode 1, the App, the Myth, the Legend video. Now that I have updated Nmap and got a better idea of what Nmap can do, let's try seeing what is on the network. With host discovery, what I want to do is determine what hosts are up and running with a valid IP on the network. There is a lot to cover, but for the host discovery portion of this demo, I'll cover the ping scan and the no ping scan. I cover these scans in more detail on the Nmap Scan All the Things Episode 2, Unmasking the Hidden Host Discovery video. The ping scan uses the option -s n. This is a simple option in Nmap that skips the port scanning phase and only prints out the available hosts that responded to the host discovery probes. In general, the probe consists of an ICMP echo request, TCP Send to port 443, TCP ACK to port 80, and an ICMP timestamp request by default. As you can see by the results of the scan, it does not necessarily provide a lot of information, but it does the job. The no ping scan uses the -P_n scan, meaning it will not send ICMP probes to the target. Nmap will attempt to scan against every specified target IP without determining if the host is alive. As shown in the CLI, Nmap was able to determine that several ports were open. Okay, so I completed a discovery scan and found a target. Now that I have an idea of what IP has a live host responding, I'll run a port scan to see if I can gather more information. With port scanning, I want to find out what ports are open. This will give me a good idea of the OS that is possibly running on the target host and what applications may be running. If I just run the scan without a -p parameter, Nmap will scan for the top 1000 ports by default. A list of ports that Nmap scans can be found in the nmap-services file in the Nmap directory. If I run the less command on the Nmap services file, we can see a portion of its contents. The file is too large to display the entire contents. I'll cover the -p parameter later in the demo. If you want more detailed information, you can watch the Nmap Scan All the Things episode 3, It's All About the Ports video, where I go into more detail. The cool thing about Nmap is it's very versatile and it offers a variety of techniques for scanning hosts. I'll run different types of port scans so we can see the difference. The first scan I will run is the TCP Connect Scan -s_t as shown in the CLI. The TCP Connect scan performs a full handshake, meaning Nmap sends a send packet to the target port and waits for the response. If the port is open and accepting connections, the target host will respond with a send ACK packet, indicating that the port is ready to establish a connection. Nmap then sends an ACK packet to complete the connection process, and the connection is immediately closed. Depending on the response back, it will determine if Nmap considers the port open. This port scan type is pretty loud and will be detected by security platforms such as SIMS and IDS. The next scan I'm running is the TCP Sends scan -s_s. It's the most widely used scanning technique for identifying open ports. The method used offers the benefit of speed. The Send scan allows for efficient and effective scanning of network assets while minimizing the risk of detection when compared to the Connect scan. In a Send scan, Nmap sends a send packet to the target port. If the target host responds with a send ACK packet, it means that the port is open. If Nmap receives a reset packet after sending a send packet, then the port is closed. Once Nmap receives the send ACK packet, it does not complete the connection by sending an ACK packet. Since the connection is not established, a session wouldn't be logged on the host. This is why the Send scan, also referred to as half open and stealth scan. When I run the Send scan, you can see the output. It discovers 3 ports and marks them as open and provides the service name. This was all done in a little over 6 seconds. Now let's compare this to the Connect scan. As you can see, the output is basically the same. Besides the 3-way handshake, the only real difference is it takes a little over 8 seconds compared to 6. Moving on to UDP Scan -s_u. Unlike TCP, UDP is a connectionless protocol, which means that it does not involve establishing a full connection between Nmap and the target host like TCP scans. In UDP scans, Nmap sends a UDP packet to the target port. The target host responds with the ICMP packet indicating that the port is closed, then Nmap assumes that the port is closed. If the target host does not respond, there is a chance that the port is open. Unfortunately, it's not possible to determine whether the port is actually open or closed without additional testing. UDP being connectionless makes UDP scans less reliable than TCP scans, meaning that responses may not always be consistent or predictable. One thing of note is UDP scans may be easily detected by IDS or firewalls, as they involve sending packets to the target host without establishing a full connection. When I run the UDP scan, one thing that is different from a TCP scan is the length of time it takes to complete a scan. This scan, for instance, took 1086 seconds to complete. This is due to Nmap not having a way to verify the port is open and not receiving any kind of response when a port is open like Nmap receives when a port is closed. Nmap detected one port as open filtered. Again, this is due to Nmap not receiving a response like TCP. Due to UDP being connectionless, Nmap can only guess that the port is either open or being filtered by a firewall, because Nmap didn't receive an ICMP response. TCP Fin Scan -s_f. The TCP Fin Scan is a specialized scan that can be useful for identifying open ports while avoiding detection by firewalls. However, the technique relies on target behavior that may not be exhibited by all hosts, particularly some versions of Windows. In a TCP Fin Scan, Nmap sends a TCP Fin packet to the target port. The target host responds with a reset packet. It means that the port is closed. If the target host does not respond, it means that the port is open or filtered by a firewall. Fin scans are not always reliable, as some hosts may respond with a reset packet regardless of whether the port is open or closed. When I run the Fin scan, you can see that the output is very similar to the Send and Connect scan. The main difference is how the host responds to the Nmap probes. Next on the list is the Xmas Scan -s_x. The Xmas Scan is a port scan technique that sends a TCP packet with the urgent, push, and fin flags set to on or 1. With all the flags set to 1, the packet is referred to as the Christmas Scan because it's lit up like a Christmas tree. This scan can be useful for identifying open ports while attempting to evade detection by firewalls. In the TCP Xmas Scan, Nmap sends an Xmas packet to the target port and waits for a response. If the port is open, the target host may respond with a reset packet. If the port is closed or the firewall is blocking traffic to the port, the target host may not respond at all. When I run the Xmas Scan, we can see that the scan detected 3 open filtered ports. It took about 12 seconds. Again, the output is very similar to the other scan types, but the difference will be how the host responds to the flags set in the packet. Great, due to the port scan, we found some interesting ports, and we targeted them specifically. But we need more information, like what is the host OS and what applications might be running. Nmap's OS detection feature uses TCP and UDP packets to analyze a target host's responses and determine its operating system based on various network characteristics. The OS detection feature works by analyzing various network characteristics such as TCP IP stack behavior, IP ID generation, and TCP sequence numbering, among others. By comparing these characteristics to a database of known operating system fingerprints, Nmap can accurately identify the operating system of the target host. While not always 100% accurate and susceptible to certain techniques like IP spoofing, Nmap OS detection is a valuable tool for network administrators to understand their network. Nmap's version detection, on the other hand, identifies software and versions on the target system by sending TCP UDP packets to open ports and analyzing the responses against fingerprint database. I ran a version scan -lowercase s, uppercase v, and a send scan, and you can see the difference. The send scan just provides the port, state, and service fields, while the version scan adds the version field to the output. The version scan also provides the OS version and CPE. The next scan I'll run is the aggressive scan -A, instructs Nmap to execute multiple techniques such as OS and version detection, script scanning, and traceroute detection. It combines several other parameters to provide more comprehensive but intrusive scanning approach. One thing of note is that the aggressive scan can be very noisy and easily detected by IDS and IPS. When I run the aggressive scan, you can see that it provides a vast amount of data compared to other scanning techniques I've demonstrated. It provides information like version scan, but also outputs service banners, SSL certificate information, and TLM information for Windows hosts. If we scroll further down, we see that it also outputs a traceroute. It ran SMB scripts, and there were some TCP IP fingerprints it could not match, and it provides a method for submitting them to nmap.org. All this took 135 seconds. When I run an OS detection scan, as shown in the CLI, the information looks similar to the other port scans. One difference is it shows the possible OS at the bottom. In this case, the OS detection was unreliable and it could not detect the OS on the target host. Alright, I got some great information using discovery, port, and version detection scanning. Maybe I want to see if a host is affected by a specific vulnerability, or maybe I want to see if SMB version 1 is configured on the host. NSE, or Nmap Scripting Engine, is a flexible and powerful tool within Nmap that allows you to automate various networking tasks. It includes a diverse set of scripts that come with Nmap, and enables you to write your own scripts to meet your specific needs. NSE's primary function is network discovery, which includes tasks such as looking up whois data based on target domain, identifying ownership, and listing available NFS, SMB, RPC shares and services. In addition, NSE can perform more advanced version detection than Nmap's regular expression signature-based matching system, and can recognize services like Skype version 2 and SNMP services through brute forcing community names. NSE can also perform demanding vulnerability checks to quickly identify vulnerability hosts on networks. Although NSE can be used to exploit vulnerabilities, Nmap is not a comprehensive exploitation framework like Metasploit. To run a script, I need to use the scripts option, --script, to specify one or more scripts to be executed during the scan. This option can be used with a script name, category name, or file name, and can be repeated multiple times for running several scripts. Nmap comes with a variety of scripts and stores them in the /user/share/nmap/scripts folder in Kali. If we look, we can see the multitude of scripts available. For this example, I'll run the --script space ssh2-enum-algos as shown in the CLI. The results of the scan shows that Nmap executed a port scan along with the SSH2 script. It gathered open ports in a variety of algorithms associated with port 22 SSH. A simpler method I can run is the script scan -lowercase s, uppercase c, which enables the default set of scripts to run against the target host. These scripts are the most common and useful scripts that Nmap provides and are designed to provide a basic set of tests and probes against the target hosts. The scripts cover a variety of tasks, including port scanning, version detection, vulnerability scanning, and more. When I initiated the scan, it took about 114 seconds. Nmap ran a few SSH, SMTP, HTTP, POP3, RPC bind, and IMAP scripts. We are finally at the finish line. I performed several Nmap scanning techniques, and now it's time to generate my results. While security tools are extremely useful, they can produce disorganized and cluttered output, making it challenging for users to extract critical information from the noise. This may include irrelevant debugging information or poorly organized and documented results, leading to confusion and frustration. Fortunately, Nmap provides several options that can help better organize the scan results. In total, there are 5 output options if you count the interactive mode. The least useful is script kiddie output -o uppercase s. It's a format used by Nmap to create output that is formatted to look like it was generated by an inexperienced hacker. The output design is to be somewhat cryptic and misleading, with exaggerated hacker language and fake error messages to make it seem like a real attack is occurring. When we look at the output, it's in what's called lead speed. Unfortunately, a lot of the output looks like garbage. This output does not offer much value to a pen tester or their clients. Another format is greppable output -o uppercase g. It's a simple format that can be easily processed using Unix tools such as grep, awk, cut, and diff. Each host is listed on one line with fields separated by tabs, slash, and comma characters. While useful for quick analysis, XML format is recommended for more complex tasks as it provides more information and is more stable. If we look at the output, it shows all the ports Nmap scanned. Further down in the output, you can see it notes that the host is up and what ports are open. You can also see that it does not look like normal output, making it easy to filter what information is important to you. A useful format for ingesting data into another application is XML output -o uppercase x. It's a format used by Nmap to share scan results in a way that can be easily read and used by other computer programs. It's a reliable and widely used format that can be parsed by many different programming languages. Running the scan with a -o uppercase x output gives you the output format displayed on the screen. It is easily parsable by an application that would allow you to present the results in a way not supported by Nmap. Finally, there is normal output -o uppercase n. It's the type of output format that is displayed in the CLI when a scan completes, but also gets generated to a text file. The final option is -o uppercase a, which generates a normal, greppable, and XML format at once. I ran a scan with the -o uppercase a, and as you can see, 3 formats were generated. Thank you for watching episode 6, the final episode of the Scan All the Things series on the Cyber Overwatch channel. If you find this content informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. I provided a demo of the various aspects of Nmap, and I hope I was able to demonstrate how versatile and powerful Nmap is. I recommend reading the documentation provided by nmap.org and practicing on a test network, as it can help gain knowledge and experience needed to use Nmap effectively. The information discussed in this video is gathered from my experience and research. Use this information I've provided in a way that can best assist you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a question in the comments, or you can send me a message from the Cybersec website listed in the description. Until next time, keep learning. The only way to keep improving is to keep learning. Pragmatic One signing off.